G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm of course Calflos, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Path of Champions in Legends Runeterra. We're going to be doing the 4-star target campaign here against Aurelion Sol, and we are going to be using Aatrox for today's run. So this is a run that I am super excited to do, quite simply because Aatrox is one of the newer champions added into the game. So he's probably the first champion that I'm going to do here from the new set with the Aurelion Sol, of course. And basically, I'm also super excited for Aatrox because, well, I think I have a fairly busted build, and I think some of you might already know what the build is going off the thumbnail and whatnot. I apologize in advance, but hear me out in a second once I get to it. Alright, so let's just quickly go into the level and whatnot on the Aatrox here. So in terms of star powers, we have a corrupted weapon, +1 starting mana, game start rate in hand, 2 random darken equipment. Really useful power, really important power as well. That way we can progress the Aatrox level up faster. Infernal change here, when an equipped ally strikes, reduce the cost of a random card in hand by 1. Also really important because these two working hand in hand will essentially help us to bring on a level 2 Aatrox quicker into the game, introduce it quicker into the game. And in terms of the champion level here, we have a level 20 Aatrox, of course, which means I do have access to the Hero's Welcome. We are guaranteed to draw a Aatrox on the turn 1, more than likely. And also, we are going to be missing out on the level 28 Forest Star Nexus of and the level 30 Rare Relic Slot 3. But in all honesty, I think it should be fine. Now, here is the real kicker. In terms of the relics, we are going to be going back to a double Curators build here. Now, I know, I've been doing a lot of Gatebreaker builds lately, but trust me, this is probably one of the more important relics to have on the Aatrox. Some of you who don't have double Curators, you could alternatively go for a Stalker's Blade if you have one. Usually you should have one because the beginner quest when you are first playing the Path of Champions should give you a Stalker's Blade. So yeah, this is probably one of the more important items, something that can strike the Nexus or the enemy here. I am going with a double Gatebreaker here because I have access to 3 Gatebreakers, but we are going to be using 2 because I'm not at level 30 yet. And at the same time, I think this is going to be a really busted build because essentially we are going to be striking the Nexus twice. We are going to be reducing the cost of cards in our hand, and essentially we can be able to play the World Ender much earlier. And once we bring on the World Ender, it's practically, well, close to game over at that point. So yeah, it's going to be a really important relic to have, at least one striking relic in the terms of a Stalker's Blade or a Gatebreaker, like I said. Alright, so we are just going to see how this one works. If I had the extra Rare Relic slot, of course, I would have gone with a Gale Force because I think it's probably really useful. World Ender is kind of expensive, so you might want to try to consistently strike, you know, the enemy on Nexus. That's why I might want to go with a Gale Force if I had the slot, of course. That way we could further reduce the cost of the World Ender here. But unfortunately, I don't. We're just going to see how this half build, if you will, basically works, this double Curators build here. Alright, so let's quickly head back out and we are going to head into the A-Sol and see how it goes. Alright, so we're all loaded in. Let's quickly check what the Aurelion Sol is running. First, he has a Power Overwhelming, alright, a Zed here with the Unyielding, a Ashe here with a Perfected Mana Flow, and a Ezreal here with Perfected Mana Flow as well. Okay, I don't think it's too bad because we should be able to circumvent a lot of these. Ashe could be a bit of a problem because of the Frostbites and stuff. I'm not really sure about the Zed. The Zed is usually a 50-50 battle if you've caught my previous videos regarding why the Zed might be a little bit challenging to build, as well as how I struggled with it with the Vayne. So yeah, it is always a 50-50 battle in my opinion with the Zed, unless it doesn't have 3 mana here, but we'll worry about that later on. Let's just go ahead and worry about Ezreal first. Let's go ahead and head to the first power node and see what we get. Okay, we get a Rush Them Down, Sharing's Caring, and a Vanguard Lookout. I think we might want to reroll here. I think we could do better than this, of course. Cost reduction could be big here on the Aatrox, so we're going to try to see if we could get a black market discount or even something like a Perfected Mana Flow, which is essentially gives us the option to get more mana gems. It's basically like a cost reduction in a way. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and see if we could get any of those. Higher Education, Bouncing Blades, Endurance. I think we're going to reroll again. Whoa, Stabilize when you summon a champion, summon exact ephemeral copy of it. Okay, I'm gonna go for this because this is gonna be insane. That means we should be able to get 4 Aatrox strikes with the Curious Gatebreaker. So it's gonna be like, what, 6 times 4? That's gonna be 24 damage upon one summoning of Aatrox. And at the same time, we can reduce the cost of the World Ender as well. So it's definitely a really good one. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Alright, so the game plan here is to probably just survive since we do not have the cost reduction, but we should be able to pick it up later on. Let's just go ahead and take on the Ezreal first. Alright, Darkin Staff, Furious Wielder, and Violent Discord. I think we're gonna get rid of Furious Wielder, Darkin Aegis, and the Violent Discord here because we need some cheap units. We'll keep the Darkin Staff as a, you know, option to play in case we have a 1-cost unit here. If not, we'll probably just pass the turn, but we'll see. Right, we actually get 2 1-cost units here, which is great. We're gonna bring on the Steadfast Elk first.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
Darkin Staff.
Safety first.
The good thing about the Aatrox thing, right, the Aatrox deck from what I've been playing lately is that it's really, really good in my opinion. So, yeah, I think it might be the best one so far. But again, like I said, I'm probably not, you know, experienced to comment on that. I have only played 2 champions so far, which is Kindred and the Aatrox. Because again, that's the only champions that I can unlock. So it could be fairly interesting to see what you guys think if you have played other champions. Alright, so I think what we're going to do here is we're going to drop a Blooming Cultist, I guess. Yeah, we're going to do that.
Boring.
Probably gonna go Forsaken Backup here. Actually, no, we might want to go Darkin Spear. That seems great. Yeah, let's go Darkin Spear. Alright, we'll see if this Ezreal attacks here. We'll see if this Ezreal is brave here. And it doesn't look like it is. And we're just gonna drop the Forsaken Backup here. We'll go ahead and grab another. That's why cost reduction on Aatrox is really important. He comes on really, really late. So, yeah, it's going to be a while. It's going to take a while. I think we're just going to attack here straight up. Should be fine.
Now I've lost my place. Obstacle, meet gauntlet.
Well, I probably should have brought on the keeper out of the box. Well, it's my fault. I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't really sure what to do there. But that's fine. We're just gonna play Furious Wielder. We're gonna strike the Ezreal. At least we kill that, and we're good. At least we have 1 unit surviving.
Firing.
All our card, you know, all the rest of the cards get cost reduced, but except the Aatrox, which is kind of unfortunate. So yeah, that's why I said I need cost reduction, consistent cost reduction, not, you know, RNG-based cost reduction. All right, gonna drop the Forsaken Backup here. We'll go with a, I think we'll go with a Darkin Aegis here. It's fine. We don't really need an extra Aatrox. We'll grab the Darkin Spear and we'll give it to this guy. I'm pretty sure I clicked something else, right? How the hell did we get another Aatrox there? I'm pretty sure I clicked the Darkin Aegis. Oh, okay, so we get a champion for some reason. Hold on, let me just double check something. My apologies. My apologies. I can't check. I think this might have, you know, the draw a champion thing and I wasn't paying attention, but it's cool. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna drop the Keeper of the Box, I guess.
Pledge to the dark within.
Alright, so we're gonna block it here. Probably should have just kept that lifesteal unit. It's not a misplay. But I think it should be okay. We have the Aatrox next turn. We should get the win.
Only war can bring me peace. Finally, I am freed of this madness.
We don't even need the World Ender, but I think we might need it in the later battles. The starting battles usually have less health in comparison, so it's cool. We're just gonna go ahead and pick up the Mighty Poro here. I think this is probably the best one. Alright, let's see what we get here in the Support Champion. Equipment Synergy could be great. Darkin Synergy will be better. Irelia, Seraphine, and Nocturne. I think Irelia might be the best because, you know, we might want to attack several times, play aggressively, and it's a really cheap champion as well. I think we're gonna go with Irelia here. Alright, so we have a Sejuani, a Zoe, and I think we're gonna head to the Sejuani because I spot a shop here, so we're gonna head down to the Sejuani.
Trust no.
Alright, once again, we are gonna reroll for cheap units, so we'll get rid of these three here. We'll keep the Darkened Staff. This Phage on the Darkened Staff is really good as well, because if you usually start, you get a 0-0 Darkened Staff, which isn't great. And of course, we join Aurelia here and not the Aatrox. It's fine though, it doesn't summon anything, so I drop the Forsaken back eye. Now we can predict an Aatrox, that'll be great, and we do predict an Aatrox, wonderful. Darkened Staff. I feel I want to attack because this is a free Nexus, but at the same time I feel I'm going to bring on Aurelia as well. I tell you what, since this is an early turn, I'm going to bank that, you know, it will have a unit that cannot block a Fearsome, so I'm going to bring on the Keeper of the Box here.
The box bestows for a price.
And of course it has a Avaros and Sentry, Nexus +1/+1 gets it to a 3/3, kinda unfortunate, but I think we're just going to attack with everything. We don't really need the lifesteal, to be fair, because the Aatrox has a inbuilt lifesteal, which is even more superior, far more superior. Let's end the round here.
The winter's cloth.
We're gonna drop the Mighty Poro. And we're gonna give it the Darkin Lodestone. We don't necessarily need the Aurelia, but I'm still gonna bring it on.
I must become the leader they need.
We get the stabilize, don't forget, we get double, you know, Aurelius here, which is kind of crazy. Alright, we'll play Flawless Duet first. We'll play another one. And we'll attack with everything, even though this guy's 8-7, but I think it should still be fine. We don't really need to be too concerned. We should have to win. There we go. Alright, so we get a Deny, Lead, and Follow in a Zanea here. I think Deny is going to be really important, and it's probably really important as well, because if you've seen my previous video, sometimes the Deny actually helps. We're definitely going to pick this up, no question about it. Alright, let's head to the shop here, I guess. Buy a power, of course, and we get a Reunited, which isn't too bad. We're going to purchase that. It's a flat +1/+0, which I really like. In terms of the cards, I don't think I see anything that particularly stands out to me, so we're just going to leave here. Now we're gonna head into the Gangplank here. Alright, so once again we're gonna get rid of the expensive units, Deny and the Blooming Cultist. This time we'll keep the Keeper of the Box because it is a cheap unit, so we can potentially play it. Ideally I want a 1 cost, but we'll happily start with a 2 cost if we have to. So we're gonna keep that. Alright, so we don't get the 1 cost. And for those of you who are wondering as well at this point, you know, even though Aatrox power here summons a, what is it, where, if I could just narrate it for you, of course, we get to create 2 random Darken equipment. Some of you might be wondering, why am I still holding on to this 1 cost Darken equipment? Well, the reasoning for that is actually sometimes you will get 2 cost Darken equipment. So if the situation should arise where we get a 1 cost unit on the board, we might not be able to play the extra equipment because we don't have enough mana. So that's why I like to keep at least one cost Darken equipment, and in this case it's usually the Darken Staff here. So sometimes we won't get this 1 cost here, just for you guys information. But let's go ahead and drop the Keeper of the Box here since we do not have a 1 cost unit. Alright, this is a free attack here because it is Fearsome. We're gonna attack. Wait, is this Dreadweight territory already? Less than 15 health. Okay, so we're still kind of safe. Alright, we're gonna take the 2 damage here. It's fine. We are gonna bring on Mighty Poro here. Right, I'm gonna go Darken Staff onto this 5-2. Let's go tough on the Mighty Poro as well with the Dark Energies. Line him out. Okay. I think we should be able to kill it before it does anything. So let's go ahead and attack like so. No, put this last. We want to get rid of this as quickly as we can, of course.
Say your farewells.
Alright, so we can of course recall if we want to, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's end the round. I know it's gonna get a Dread Wave, but we can it won't summon it. The Gangplank here won't summon it, because it's kinda expensive. We have a spare turn to prepare.
My selection speaks for itself.
Can of course play the Furious Wielder here, but I think I want to pass the turn and see what it does first. Alright, beautiful. Now bring on the Aatrox and we win.
All that lives, I will end. Yes! Oblivion!
Well, I think we will be able to see the world ender, don't worry. It's probably going to be in the later stages of this adventure where we take on the Aurelion Sol with higher health and whatnot, but probably not in the early stages. Alright, so let's go ahead and just pick up a unit here. I'm not really sure what's good here, I think. When you summon another ally with equal or less power than me, granted +1/+1, -1 cost. Sky Guardian, grant barrier to an ally in hand, draw 1. I think we might just go to Sparring Student here. I'm not really sure this is the right one, if I'm going to be frank with you. It has Aurelia synergy, so I think I'm inclined to pick this up. Well, we can, of course, equip, you know, a equipment to it as well, and it's an extra 1 cost unit, so I think all in all, it's fine. Let's just head to the Fallen Feline here. Accelerated Pursuit, Treasure Trove, and Recursion. I don't think any of this is important. We're just going to leave. And we are going to head to the shop, of course, grab another power. Afterlife Forbidden. I don't really like this. I think we're just going to leave that. We are just going to head on into the Ash here. I would like to save up some gold and see if we could purchase something else as well. Alright, we get a Steadfast Elk here, which is great. Blooming Cultist and Defiant Dance. We'll get rid of these two. We'll keep the Aurelia in hand so that we can increase the odds of drawing an Aatrox here. But we should be fine. Okay, we got lucky here. We got a 1-cost Darken equipment, which is great. Let's drop the Steadfast Elk first. Ash is going to come on next turn, which isn't ideal. But I think it should be fine. Darken Bloodletters.
Look out for Reavers. Light the signal fires.
Oh, we draw another Aurelia. I didn't realize that, but yeah, I hope the Aatrox comes soon. It could be important.
I think not.
We have Ash here, which isn't great. I think we're just still gonna drop the Mighty Poro here.
Guide our allies, my friend.
We'll have to block like so. Sacrifice this Elking here. Okay, here's my conundrum, right? If we bring on the Sparring Student, we can bring on the Aurelia still, but we won't have enough mana to play both the, both the Flawless Duets, because we need 4 mana to play both the Flawless Duets. But we are gonna lose the Sparring Student if we do so. I think what I'm gonna do... I think I'm still just gonna bring on the Aurelia here. We'll bring on the Aurelia first. Because we need to attune. The Aurelia is gonna attune twice because we have 2 Aurelias, right? So we should have enough to play the 2 Flawless Duets. And hopefully one of the Ash blocks. And if the Ash does block, we can play the Aurelia and kill it. Okay, I will kill the Ash, of course. But I think that should work.
I dance not to forget, but to remember.
Frostbite and vulnerable. Okay, so we'll let it play vulnerable. It's fine.
My aim is true.
Oh, never mind. It went up to 25-17. The entire game plan is gone. I think we are still gonna play it, I guess, right? At the very least, we can potentially accelerate the Aurelia level up here. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We need to hold off on Aatrox. Once the Aatrox comes on, it's fine. Just need to hold off on Aatrox.
Hear that? Gotcha.
Now, you know what? Let's not play this. I think we might want to build for a blocking unit next turn. I think it's probably going to be... we're going to be really short on blocking units. Okay, so we're going to forgo this Flawless Duet. I probably should not have played that as well. It's my mistake, but now that I think about it, I think it might be better to build for the next turn. Alright, so we're going to drop a Keeper of the Box here. We're probably going to use this as a blocker.
Show them the way.
We're going to pass.
My homeland.
We need to build for some blocks, because this Ash is just going to attack and it's going to Frostbite everyone. I think we're going to deny here. We can bring on the Sparring Student. We use that as a blocking unit.
How'd you do that?
Swiftly now.
Into the abyss. To shadow.
Where's the damn Aatrox? Oh man, another deny. Okay, so I think we'll go with the Elusive here.
Our strength is yours.
I think we're gonna go Darkened Fan, I guess. At least we can get a Dragonling.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
Do we want to go Keeper of the Box? We'll probably bring that on later. Let's attack first.
Bitter cold.
Alright, at least we get some health back. Okay, so you don't get an Aatrox. I think I still see a way out. We can play Vanguard's Edge and just pray that we are fine. We're just gonna drop the Keeper of the Box here as a blocking unit, of course.
Dark within.
Go Darkened Bloodletters. We'll probably use this as another block as well. We'll give it to this guy. Ah, we draw the Aatrox. Great. We bring it on next turn, and if we're lucky, we might be able to immediately get the win.
Send chills up my spine. Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
Let's see. Let's try it.
All that lives, I will end. After all these years, I can finally...
Oh man, we dodged the bullet with that one. I think if we didn't get the Aatrox, we might have lost there, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But we get a -1 cost on the Aatrox, which is great. That means we can bring him on even earlier, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that for him. Alright, so we're gonna head to the power node here. We get a Hextech Observatory. That isn't too bad. We're gonna pick that up. And let's see what we have. We have a champion item chest, a healer, and a gold chest. We're definitely going to want to head to the champion item chest here. We have Tahm Kench Perfected Mana Flow and a Fiora duplicate. I feel like I want to go to the Fiora. That's simply because if we go into the Tahm Kench here, it has, you know, a couple of spell shields which can, sorry, not spell shields, it has a couple of swallows, captures, which can potentially, you know, consume our big units. So I think we're going to go into the Fiora here. I think they might be okay.
I would gut.
Alright, Star Aatrox, great. Keeper of the Box, 2 Keeper of the Boxes, and a Forsaken Bad Guy. We ideally only need 1, so get rid of the other one, and we'll keep this. And we get Darkin Ballista. Beautiful. Forsaken bad guy on. Let's grab a Darkin Aegis. That way he gets a buff as well. Guess it's a Darkin equipment.
I'm actually here.
Darkin Ballista.
I'm ready.
Cost reduction on Aegis, which is fine, although I preferred an Aatrox cost reduction. Fiora's gonna come on our attacking turn, which is alright. I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna drop a Keeper of the Box.
The box bestows for a price.
We are probably just gonna eat the 8 damage here, I guess. Or do we want to block with something? I tell you what, let's block with the 6-1 here. It probably outlived its uses here. Do we want to block with the Keeper of the Box?
Shadow.
Yeah, I think we'll block with the Keeper of the Box. It's fine. We can potentially bring on Aurelia next turn. That could be decent. And I think we'll do that. It's cool. At least we don't give the Fiora units the challenge, of course, which could be great. We get a cost reduction on Aatrox as well, which is wonderful. We can bring that on next turn instead of the Aurelia.
Only war can bring me peace. Finally, I am freed of this madness.
That ended sooner than I expected, but like I said, I think it's probably only for, you know, the earlier battles. Once we get deeper into the adventure, it will probably require us to play the World Ender and whatnot, so don't worry, we're getting there. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm probably just going to go to Homecoming. I don't really want another champion. Disciple of Doran with the Ephemeral isn't nice. The best one looks like the Homecoming here, so we're going to pick this up. Alright, let's head to the champion item chest, of course. We get another -1 cost on the Aatrox. We're picking that up for sure. And we are probably going to head to either Caitlyn or the Duplicate Jhin here. I think Duplicate Jhin seems fine. Caitlyn Power Overwhelming is also alright. In fact, both of these are fine. I think we're just going to head down to the Duplicate Jhin. Alright, so Elking and Sparring Student. I think we'll get rid of the Sparring Student. We should be able to start with this. We'll get rid of the Deny as well. Elking and Darkin stuff seems to be the play here. Draw the Aatrox, beautiful. Get a Darkin Ballista as well, nice. We are gonna play the Darkin Staff, however.
I've got us covered.
So it gives us impact. The Ballista doesn't really give us anything. Alright, keep out the box. I think we'll give this guy the Darkin Ballista. It's fine. We'll probably use this as a blocking unit as well. Well, not blocking, but a attacking unit, just to get some health back. And get some damage off too. Wow, cost reduction on both Aatroxes, beautiful. Alright, so we're gonna bring that on, and I think we might have the insta-win.
The stage is set. Only war can bring me peace. Finally, I am freed of this madness.
Alright, we get a tough on Aurelia, Rockhopper, and Dragon's Rage here. Again, I'm not going to go with an upgrade on Aurelia because that will basically just dilute our odds of drawing a Aatrox here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to go with a Dragon's Rage here. The Rockhopper is fine, but I don't really think we need that many landmarks and whatnot. Dragon's Rage might be better, so we're going to go ahead and go with that. I'm going to head to the shop here. Firepower, of course, and we get a power overwhelming round and grant allies +1/+1. We're picking this up, even though I don't think it's going to be that useful, because the Aatrox will strike first before that buff kicks in, so it might be a little bit useless. Now, in terms of the cards, I don't really think we need anything. I don't see anything that's too useful, so we're just going to leave. We have a champion item chest here, another champion item chest, and a Grand Plaza, so we're probably going to head up towards the Swain. Alright, we get the Aatrox draw here, which is great. Let's get rid of Homecoming and Defiant Dance. And let's see if we could get a 1-cost unit. Steadfast Oak, beautiful. Steadfast Elk.
Explosives primed.
Darkened Staff. Block the 2-1. The Legion Saboteur, of course. That way we prevent further, you know, Nexus damage because of that. And we have a 3-cost Aatrox, beautiful. Alright, so I don't think we're gonna insta-wins here because the health has definitely gone up. But it should still be a significant amount of damage. We'll try it, of course.
All that lives, I will end. Master your secrets.
Alright, this is what we're gonna do. We are not gonna attack here. This is 8, right? So how much mana are we gonna get? This is gonna be 4 and... This is only gonna be 5, okay. So we're almost out of... We don't have enough to play the Whirl Ender here, which is a little bit sad. But I think what we can do is I'm gonna play the Darkened Blade on this guy. I know this seems like crazy, but if those of you caught my, my first review of Aatrox, I think you'll understand what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get double Aatroxes here, which is kind of busted in a way. Alright, so we're gonna give Darkened Staff to the regular Aatrox, of course. And we draw another Aatrox of our own. Gonna end the round here. Can't play Deathbringer Sweep because this is just gonna kill we're just gonna trade the Aatrox with a Swain here, which I don't really like. I think it might be better to actually block the Swain here and then bring on another Aatrox and just end the battle. I don't think it's possible to get Whirl Ender in this particular game. Alright, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's fine. We'll just drop the Blooming Cultist as well as a blocking unit. Probably play the Aatrox next turn. Let's bring on the Sparring Student.
Pledge or perish.
Okay, it actually still might be possible. Alright, I'm gonna try to get, that double Aatrox for you guys here. If you guys are watching this, my video here for the first time, we're gonna go ahead and block the 818.
Merely pawns in a greater game.
I will try to get that, double Aatrox here for you. Let's go Darkened Blade. We'll give it to this guy. We should have enough mana next turn, right? Oh, no, we don't. Do we? I don't think so. Oh, we don't have enough mana. Kinda unfortunate. Well, I guess we're just gonna grab the win here, right? Because we have the 7/5. We should have the guaranteed elusive damage.
Justify yourself.
Alright, it's cool. Still get the win here. Kinda sad we can't get double Aatroxes though. Alright, Ephemeral on Sparring Student, I don't really like. Grant me +1/+1 with a Darkened Spear is fine. We're gonna go ahead and grab that since this is also a Darkened equipment. Now we're gonna head to the Champion Item Chest here. And we get a Dragon's Tooth on the Aatrox, a Philosopher's Stone, and a Radiant Plate Armor. I think we might just want to get the Dragon's Tooth here, it's cool. On the Aatrox, of course. And we're gonna head into the Healer here where we're gonna cut a card. And let's see what we can get rid of. Ideally, I don't want any useless units or useless spells. Defiant Dance doesn't seem to be helping us at the present moment. I think we might just cut it. I don't think we need this. It's a slow spell as well. Probably not too useful. Right, let's head to the Z here. Alright, Violent Discord, Deny, Homecoming. These are all spells, not great. We're gonna reroll everything. We need a unit to start into the Z. That could be really, really important. Because the Z is always problematic. Oh, we don't get the 1-cost equipment, but it's fine. We'll drop the Forsaken back guy here. We don't get a equipment to upgrade the back guy as well, so we'll just go with, I guess, the Steadfast Elk here.
They'll never see me coming.
We're not gonna attack. I think we're gonna use this as a blocking unit next turn. I know the Zed's gonna come on here, so we need a lot of blocking units to prevent a potential heavy damage here, which isn't great. We're gonna go Steadfast Elk. Yeah, we're gonna take heavy damage here. There's really no way around it. So I think it might be important to block, you know, both the Zeds, of course. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this guy here. Now, actually, we'll drop this guy here, and we'll drop this guy here. Yeah, either way, the Zed's not gonna level up. It's still gonna deal 8 damage. It's still gonna strike, I believe. Yeah, it's what it is. We'll commit. Alright, it's fine. I know the Zed's gonna level up here, but I'm still gonna give Darkin a Gist to this guy. That way we could get a... No, not Darkin Gist. This guy's gonna get a Tough from the equipment, so it might be more worth it to give it a Darkin Spear, I guess. We have Aatrox next turn, so it's cool.
Embrace the shadow. All that lives, I will end.
Quietly.
Alright, so I'm gonna go Darkin Blade. How far away are we from Will Ender? We are really far away. I'm probably gonna go Darkin Aegis onto the Aatrox. We're definitely not gonna attack here because this is stupid to attack. No way we're attacking. Okay, I want some spare mana, that way we could play the Furious Wielder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on the Blooming Cultist here. Can also block the Elusive, which is decent. This is kind of bad, I think. Yeah, we're gonna lose this here, I guess. Because we are unable to kill any of these.
You are nothing.
That Zed's probably gonna strike for 19 damage. So we live to, you know, we basically prolonged the battle, but yeah, the odds are kind of slim. All right, we're still gonna have to commit it. It's fine. Unless it shadow shifts, of course, but it's alright, it's alright.
Over here.
Alright, we're gonna drop the Mighty Poro here. I'm gonna give it Darkin Blade. I might want to assimilate next turn. I'm not sure if that's gonna work though. I tell you what, we'll go Darkin Aegis. I'm gonna hope we get another unit here. It could be really important. Yeah, I think we're gonna go Darkin Aegis. Oh, we get another Aatrox. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. We might get the clutch here if I'm gonna be honest.
Today is the last
Oblivion indeed, Aatrox. And yeah, that was definitely a really clutch battle there. So I'm kind of happy, you know, kind of lucky that we got that Aatrox. I think if we did not get that, we're probably going to have to spend the reroll there on the Z. But it's fine, and we get a very good item here with this Shadow Totem. Essentially, we are able to get, I think, 3 Aatroxes on one summon, which is kind of crazy. And I think we're going to go with that, of course. Alright, so I really hope we can play Wool Ender. I think that would be kind of insane to play into the Aurelion Sol there, but we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and head to the power node here. Empress Die, slow but steady in my sights. I think we might want to spend some rerolls here since this is the final power node. Rush them down, Sticky Fingers, lie in wait, let's reroll again. Chrono Break, quick draw, and in my sights. I think we're going to go with the quick draw here. Alright, we have a Karma and a Yasuo. We're going to head to the Yasuo, of course, because this is another shop node which will give us a power. So we're going to head towards the Yasuo. Alright, start the Aatrox here, which is great. We'll keep him in hand. Mighty Poro, Darken Aegis. Let's actually might want to keep this, do we? Or do we want to get rid of some units? I tell you, we'll get rid of Mighty Poro. And we'll probably get rid of the Darken Aegis. We'll keep the Keep Off the Box to play on turn 1. If we don't get a 1 cost, of course. When we do get a 1 cost, we get the Sparring Student. But Yasuo's gonna come on turn 1 here.
I go where the road takes me.
Stun and draw 1. Okay, I tell you what. So it's gonna stun, which means we are still probably gonna take damage regardless. It's gonna attack since it has it's at 0 mana, right? So we're just gonna play the Forsaken Bad Guy here. It's fine. We'll grab a Darken Aegis. Actually, we should grab another Aatrox there. But it's fine. We take 8 damage. We have the tough, so we're safe. And we're gonna play the... Oh, I wanted to play Darken Halberd, but I forgot this is kill an ally. Ah, okay. Yeah, so one more thing we must take note is that, you know, the effect of the, or the requirement to play a certain, you know, equipment. Alright, it's fine. I guess we're just gonna drop the Darken, Keep Off the Box here.
The dark within.
Alright, it's fine. Play Darken Aegis.
Heard you're new in the area.
I think we'll play another Darken Aegis. I know this already has tough, but, you know, I think the stat buff could be important. Or do we want to hold out for a Aatrox? Now, you know what? Let's play it. It's fine. It is fine. We're probably not going to attack anyway. We're just using this as a block, you know, just to, well, just the opportunity to equip our units here. So we're just going to end the round. Aatrox on. Should get 3 copies of him.
Finally, I am freed of this madness.
Now, I'm not sure if you saw that there, but I caught a really quick glimpse, and that was a 7-cost Wool Ender upon the turn 1 summon. So, not turn 1 summon, but the first summon of the Aatrox there. That's kind of crazy, all things considered. We have a Professor Von Yip, a Recall, and an Aurelia here. Shadow Totem when I'm summoned, summon an ephemeral copy of me. Alright, so I usually don't like to go with, you know, upgrades for the secondary champion, the support champion, but I think we're gonna make an exception for this one. I think we should be able to draw the Aatrox. I hope I'm right here, which means, you know, we are gonna go with the Aurelia here. I think we should be fine. Hopefully I'm correct. It's a little bit risky, don't get me wrong, but I think we should be able to take that risk. Let's head to the shop here. We'll get a power, of course. We want a Evolution is amazing. We're picking that up. In terms of the cards, I don't really see anything too useful. We're just going to ignore it. I think it should be fine. Let me just double check how many Aatrox copies we have. I think we have quite a few, right? Aatrox has 6 copies. Aurelia has 4. Okay, so it's back to a 2-to-3 ratio. Alright, let's hope it works. Let's hope it's fine. We are going to head to the Katarina here. Could be a long, hard battle if you can't draw the Aatrox. Okay, we do get the Aatrox, which is great. Fierce Wielder, Blooming Cultist. We'll get rid of these two. Let's see if we could get a 1-cost unit. That would be great. And we do get a 1-cost unit, Steadfast Elk.
Let the bloodshed begin.
Alright, we might have to sack this to the Katarina, in all honesty. Unless it stuns us, of course, and we can't really do anything. We're gonna go Darkened Staff here.
They're afraid. They should be. Violence solves everything.
It's fine, it's fine. Let's just hope we can bring on the Aatrox quickly. I'm gonna attack first, because this is a free Nexus. That cat's gonna come on. Oh, beautiful. Aatrox immediately on, because of the cost reduction. Wonderful stuff.
All that lives, I will end. After all these years, I can finally...
Alright, so we get another upgrade to Deny Ribbon Dancer and another Sheen on the Darkened Spear. I think we're gonna go with this. It seems fine. Now we're gonna head into the Victor here. Get Aatrox again. Beautiful. Let's get rid of Mighty Poro, Furious Wielder, and I think we can safely get rid of Darkened Aegis at this point. Should be able to generate, you know, something else. Oh, we got 3 Aatroxes and not a single 1-cost. This could be a long battle.
What can I say?
Well, it's not too bad. We have Aurelia here, but it's probably a waste because we can't really attack. I tell you what, we're gonna pass the turn. We'll eat the 4 damage. Alright, we're gonna bring on Aurelia now.
I dance not to forget, but to remember.
We lose a lot of the attune, but it's fine.
Hey, it's the boss man.
Remind me to upgrade your thought processors.
Alright, we'll play a couple of Flawless Duets. I think we'll probably just play one of it. We can only play one of it in all honesty. Well, we can play Darkened Halberd. We'll probably kill one of the Aurelias. I think that's what we'll do. Oh, Hextech the Observatory, right. Forgot about that. I forgot about my own powers.
This is progress.
Oh, man.
The material
Goes to show how busted this is. Another Flawless Duet on. Alright, we'll go Darkened Spear. I think we'll just give it to this Aurelia here. We're gonna attack with the
Follow my lead.
Elusives. Well, at the very least, with one elusive, we'll probably keep the... Sorry, the attack with Ephemerals. We'll keep the regular one back, just in case we need to use this as a blocking unit. It could be important, because this Victor here is probably just going to block this guy. Alright, so we're just going to commit this.
Wanna arm wrestle?
Alright, beautiful. Well, what am I worried about? We have the Aatrox here. Alright, Aatrox on.
only war can bring me peace. Finally, I am freed of this madness.
Alright, so looks like the only thing between us and victory is now the dragon himself. We are just gonna quickly pick up an upgrade here. Flayer's spell, grant me +1/+1 Elking. Sure, it seems decent. We are gonna head towards the Aatrox now. Sorry, the Aurelian Sol now and see how we do. We start with the attack token as well. Amazing. Forsaken, Backeye Student, and Ribbon Dancer. I think we'll get rid of the Sparring Student here. We don't really need the Ribbon Dancer either. We'll probably just keep the Forsaken Backeye and the Aurelia. Should be guaranteed to join Aatrox here. And at least we get one of it. Alright, cool. We just have to hold out for a couple of turns. And we're fine. Let's predict a Darkened Staff.
Come hither, you beasts of glory.
Invoke is fine. Charger is fine. Attack. Get the 1 damage at the very least, which is decent. Just need to hold out. We just need to hold out. We just survive and we're fine.
Unwavering strength.
Alright, Furious Wielder will kill this guy. Cost reduces everything but the Aatrox. We're not gonna bring on Aurelia, of course. We're just gonna pass the turn. We should have the win next turn with Aatrox, ideally. Oh, Sejuani. I think it should still be fine. Let's just drop the Aatrox here. Okay guys, so looks like that is the run with the Aurelions all done. My apologies by the way, I knew I said I wanted to do, show you that, duplicate Aatrox. Without the duplicate, of course, we can clone the Aatrox with the way the Aatrox works, for those of you who don't know. All you need to do is you just need to transfer the Darkened Blade onto a spare unit, which must not be a champion by the way, a spare unit that you're not using, and essentially once you play World Ender, you have already an Aatrox on the board, it's still gonna summon another Aatrox essentially. So yeah, it's gonna be kinda crazy if you can make that happen, but unfortunately, I couldn't do it in this video, which is really, really sad, but it's fine. I think it just goes to show that, the Aatrox is a really, really strong champion on its own. Probably the best out of this new set of champions as well, at least in my opinion from what I've seen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this run here into the Aurelion Sol, and if you did, consider leaving a like as well as subscribing to the channel. Really do appreciate that support here, guys. But most importantly, it's so that you don't miss future episodes or uploads of Legends Runeterra, or Path of Champions content just like this one. And with that being said, this is Keflo signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me as well. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.